Good afternoon, Kingdom Hall.
Hi, I just had a question I was wondering if someone could help me with.
Sure.
Well, are you guys the Watchtower? Is that what you are? I mean, is that your organization?
We're Jehovah's Witnesses, but we do have a headquarters in upstate New York. So we are affiliated with the Watchtower, with the publications that we use and things like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I just have a question about this. Like, I found a book in a used store from the Watchtower of Pennsylvania. Is that the same thing? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yep.
Oh, it's called Truth. It's called Truth. The Truth that leads to eternal life. And I just found the funniest thing in here.
It's blue, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you about it. I've talked to some Jehovah's Witnesses in my area, and I can't reconcile like this comment here in this blue book with kind of their whole attitude or whatever. It's like really hard to talk to them. They get like real I don't know, like real paranoid or something like that if you try to talk to them. Like I even tried to show them like a quote that the Watchtower said in the past, and they got like almost like they thought it was like poisonous or something. But anyway, here's what do you mean? No, I was just telling you what happened.
That's not the right response that they should have had. When
that's happened to me a couple times. One of them, I went up with a Watchtower book called Reasoning. And I was reading about the prediction in there that the people in 1914 wouldn't die out until that was now changed in their magazine. They had to change the wording, and it's funny that that's still in that book. But they got all like paranoid and ran in and told that I was harassing them for asking about that.
No, that's I'm sorry you went through that.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people do. There's, like, videos on YouTube about, they even call the police. Like, this one guy called Down with the Tower on YouTube. He just tries to tell them about the Australia Royal Commission on Child Sexual Abuse, that their organization was one of the organizations investigated there, and that their governing body was there testifying. And they, like, call the police on him. Because he's just telling them that.
Right.
Yeah, what's with that? Like, is that are they trying to hide that from you guys?
No. We don't hide it. In fact, I've dealt with cases of that exactly. And our stance on it is to protect children and to let authorities know about it immediately. And to prosecute individuals.
Yeah, I wasn't asking about your particular thing there, but I was just mentioning the results of the Royal Commission were exactly quite the opposite of what you're telling me. So they had evidence like the Elders Manual, the Two Witness Rule, and things. But anyways, here's the quotation in this like blue book. It says, okay, I guess this just applies to other people, not Jehovah's Witnesses, but it says we need to examine not only what we personally believe, but also what is taught by any religious organization with which we may be associated. If we are lovers of the truth, there is nothing to fear from such an examination. And I just had a chuckle when I saw that because, it seems like this whole chapter is called Why It Is Wise to Examine Your Religion, because they're trying to tell that to other people.
Right.
But yet they only accept the website JW.org, which is kind of funny. I mean, if you want to examine something, you don't limit your information to what they say about themselves. Am I right?
Yeah, and the thing is, I can tell you myself personally that I examined, even now, I examine other teachings of other religions too, to confirm that it's Bible-based, because that's our concern, that whatever teachings we are hearing, whether it's ours or someone else's from another religion, that is based on the Bible. So I constantly do that. I have about 6 different translations of the Bible for that reason, besides the one that we produce, that I examine and cross-examine.
What is Bible-based? What they currently teach, or what they taught like 5 years ago or 60 years ago?
There are principles in the Scriptures that never change, like fornication, adultery, homosexuality. Those things will never change. Every Bible, no matter the religion.
Other things are the truth, and they do change.
No,
can they say that something is meat in due season from Jehovah, or that all their writings are not originating with humans, and then change it later?
Well, the scriptures do say, and you can look at this in your own Bible as well, in Proverbs, that the light will get brighter and brighter, and that was for any person.
Could you quote that verse in total instead of just a few words?
Yeah, I can actually read it.
No, not looking, but can you say it, since you acted as though you had memorized it, but you really skipped a few important words there.
Well,
could you say it?
I can say it.
What does it say in total?
As the day is drawing near, the light will get brighter and brighter as the day is drawing near.
You still didn't quote it in total. You might want to look at it and see what it's really about. It's not about changing doctrine.
No, I'm not trying to change doctrine.
But you're using that to justify that.
I would like to read it if you would. I would try to get it before, but you wouldn't let me. So I can if you'd like.
Well, you wanted to make it seem like you were quoting it.
Yeah, I quoted a part of it.
Right, and it's very misleading.
And that's why I said if I can get my Bible, I'd like to read it.
Sure.
Okay, hang on one second. You still there?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's Proverbs chapter 4, verse number 18. And I'm going to read from a different translation. So if you have any, I don't know if you have any issue with our Bible, so I'm going to read it from another translation that we don't produce, but that I have in my possession. And for example, I'll use the King James Version, for example.
Okay.
It says, "But the path of the just is as a shining light that shineth more and more until the perfect day." The American Standard Version says, "But the path of the righteous is as this dawning light that shineth more and more until the perfect day."
So, the path of a righteous person, what is that contrasted with in the next verse, verse 19?
Look down here. Verse 19. "The way of the wicked is like the darkness. They do not know what makes them stumble." Yes.
So is this talking about behaviors that people do? Or is it talking about changing doctrine? Because then it would say, the path of the righteous is like the light of dawn. If according to your interpretation, it means the doctrine of the righteous gets brighter. Then the next verse would say, the doctrine of Babylon the Great is like darkness because it always stays the same. Which actually, the very definition of truth is that it stays the same. And to say, the problem is that it's not just fornication, homosexuality, etc., and those type of things that are unchanging. It's very basic core things that they have changed over their history. Second of all, they don't present what they teach now as just possible speculations. They present everything, which it actually says in their baptism questions, you must adhere to everything the society teaches, not even main things or anything like that, as the truth that everyone must adhere to and people must not even question. So, what is truth to you? Do you have a postmodern view of truth that it can change?
I can tell you that before I became a witness, I questioned everything. I'm still a witness. I still ask questions. If I don't understand something, I will search secular sources and other things.
Good.
To confirm. Because that's
Did you ever research the fall of Jerusalem being in 607 BC in secular sources?
I did. And because secularly, they have not been able to prove that that's when it happened. Yeah.
I guess apparently you didn't research it because it's one of the most attested to facts by archaeology, astronomy, finds that they've made, steals, those things with, ancient writings, and many, many ways. So there isn't really anybody that believes it was in 607.
Right.
And so when you said you researched it, what was your source that said 607 besides the
Well, what
Watchtower?
I'm saying is that when I researched it, that secularly they couldn't find anything to support what we had.
They couldn't find anything to support the Watchtower date?
Yes.
Oh,
that's
true.
When I did my research.
Yeah,
so, And I do those things because, like anyone else, what I will tell you is that we are encouraged to do research. We're not encouraged of a blind faith. I was never. My parents were witnesses, but they even told me as I was growing up. They said, "Listen, you do what you need to do." They said, "You research anything and everything."
Great.
So and that's the same thing that we don't force anyone to become one of us. That's a decision that they make on their own. You know.
So then did you watch the videos of your governing body at the Australia Royal Commission? Since you're so open-minded.
I didn't see those. I didn't see those. I heard about it, but I didn't know where exactly it was. But I had heard about that case that was going on. There are a couple of cases that they were looking into. You know.
Well, it wasn't a case. It was the whole modus operandi of the organization was being investigated, and he had to testify under oath. And it's very interesting the things that he said in the light of what they claim. Just things, fair amount of people have actually left the organization after they saw his testimony. They felt he was being very slippery and evasive, pretty much even lying. The YouTube channel that has them and have it with no commentary is called Jake Control, Jakke Control, 2 words. There's nothing else on that channel, no commentary. And you can also read it by going to the Australia Royal Commission, Case Study 29.
Okay.
I'm glad you're so open-minded. You sound really cool that way.
I've always been that way. So
good.
I'm a person that I need to not only you can tell me something, but I need proof. I need research. I'm an analytical mind, so that's what I'm going to do.
And 607 it really is important because their whole foundation of being chosen by Jesus in 1919 is built on it.
Yeah.
So it should maybe bother you a little more that there's a really good there's whole books that have been written about it, like the Gentile Times Reconsidered by Carl Olof Johnson, and I don't know if you heard of those, but
I haven't heard of that author, no.
That gets into kind of over my head, like kind of stuff. Like I tried to read it once and I'm like, what is this even about? Like he's so into all the technical, I like to read about certain topics. But my friend also did a blog about it. It's called JWLove, LOVE.org, and he was heavy into the astronomy, the archaeological things, and he talks a lot about 607 there in a very nice manner. I don't think he's mean or Bible bashing or anything like that at all. But maybe check it out. And thanks for talking to me.
No problem. Thank you for calling.
God bless you.
All right. Have a good day.
See ya.
Bye-bye.